And to see the North Stars this season meant believing they were brutal and certain to make an early exit from the playoffs. Then came the postseason, which is the only season in Minnesota. Hey, what kind of a spell are these guys under anyway? Last year's playoff hero John Casey was so good this year, he played some in Kalamazoo. Now, he's unbeatable. Up front, an anemic offense has come to life, especially on the power play. So it's out with the old and in with the new. And now the North Stars are up by 2.
The superstars for the Red Wings' predicament. Sergei Fedorov leads the team in setups, however, with few results. And Steve Yzerman has been at his best with 10 shots, but only 1 goal. But the dejection at their rejection by the North Stars is apparent on Red Wing faces as they prepare now for their biggest game of the season.
Minnesota coach is gaining quite a reputation. Regular season no stars are now postseason shooting stars. Neil Broughton scored 8 goals this year. With 3 assists in 2 games, he looks more like the Broughton of old. And Gainey's looking great, pairing Tenorti with Hatcher. They dominated in Detroit. Is Gainey hockey's playoff professor?
Night in Minnesota, the North Stars are home with a surprising 2-0 series lead on the Red Wings. We'll check in on 3 other games. The Blues, even with the Hawks, are home in St. Louis. In the Smythe, the Jets home and even with the Canucks. And the Oilers back to Alberta looking to avenge a slaughter in Game 3. In the first intermission, homegrown Stars defenseman Jim Johnson. NHL Tonight presents the Stanley Cup Playoffs on TSN. Brought to you by Molson Canadian, what beer's all about. By Pepsi, gotta have it. And by Domino's Pizza of Canada, experience the Domino's effect. From the Met Center in Bloomington, Game 3 for the Red Wings and the North Stars on TSN Tonight. Hi everyone, I'm John Wells. The Minnesota North Stars are home for Game 3, 1 victory ahead of last year's playoff pace. And the North Stars had a great run here at the Met Center, winning 8 of 11 games on home ice. There's more bad news for the Detroit Red Wings. They have won only once here in their last 10 visits. But after losing the opening 2 in Detroit, perhaps the Red Wings are happy to be away from the playoff pressure in their hometown. Jim?
Well, maybe they will appreciate being on the road. You know, they have the best winning percentage on the road in the National Hockey League. They're a young team that had a good season. Expectations in Detroit were high. Maybe stage fright cost them a couple of games at home.
Well, the one thing their power play won't have to worry about tonight, that's when they're coming out of their own zone. They won't have to worry about the 15 or 16,000 North Star fans here booing them, which should give their skilled players the opportunity to maybe to loosen up a little bit.
Well, they'll have to get the power play going. Greener, let's check the 0 for board here on this power play. 0 for 11 in this series. 0 for 30 against Minnesota since they last scored against them on the power play on the 9th of January. They were 0 for 12 at the end of the regular season, so 0 for 23 since they last scored a power play goal. How do you cure that problem? They've got great talented players. Maybe you just put the biggest guy in front of the net and wail away at the puck.
Hey, you got it, Coach. That's the answer. I'll tell you what they do have to do, though. They've got to make sure that they get possession of the puck. They've got lots of skill on their power play, but they've got to have some guys that want the puck and then get it to the skilled players.
Rest assured, if their power play doesn't get going, they'll be gone. John?
The Detroit Red Wings have battled back from a 2-0 series deficit on 3 previous occasions, most recently in 1987 against the Toronto Maple Leafs. To get back in this series and to win it, the Red Wings will have to win at least 2 games here at the Met Center in Minnesota. Let's go back to Toronto now. Jim Van Horn standing by to take a look at the other matchup in the Norris Division tonight. Jimmy?
All right, John, thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. And what a matchup it is. The Chicago Blackhawks, reeling from their 5-3 loss to the St. Louis Blues just the other night, head down to St. Louis to continue that series tonight as Game 3 gets underway in the Norris Division semifinals. A lot of changes in the lineup for the Blackhawks tonight. Dominik Hasek will be in goal to start the game instead of Ed Belfour. More on that in a minute. Rob Brown is out. Dean McCammon is in, making his NHL debut. First-round pick from Prince Albert. But the big news is Hasek. He came in late in the second period and literally stoned the St. Louis Blues with an outstanding performance after Ed Belfour suffered a head injury and was criticized by head coach Mike Keenan following the game. So Hasek gets the start tonight. František Kuchera is back in the lineup. Brian Marchment will be sitting the pines tonight. Game 2 was won by St. Louis, as I mentioned, by a score of 5-3. They lost the first game 3-2, so they have taken home ice away from the Chicago Blackhawks. We will talk about the other matchups in the NHL tonight as Molson NHL Tonight on TSN continues with the Stanley Cup playoffs. Norris Division semifinal set to resume in just a few minutes as the Minnesota North Stars, with a 2-0 lead over the Detroit Red Wings, host the Red Wings in Game 3 tonight from the Met Center in Minnesota. We'll take you there in just a few minutes. Our update game will be the Chicago.
Hey everyone, the Detroit Red Wings are here in Bloomington, hoping to celebrate by bringing the North Stars back down to it. Tonight's starting goaltenders are brought to you by Thrifty Car Rental, because it's your money. The Red Wings say Tim Cheveldae is very resilient and saves his best games for after those that he's had trouble in. He has to be at his best tonight. Vince Riendeau, who's recovered from a shoulder injury, is the backup tonight as Greg Millen is scratched. John Casey always saves his best hockey for after his worst season. He was in the minors for a time this year, but now he's back at his playoff best. Darcy Wakaluk is his backup. The referee for tonight's game is Andy Van Helleman. Shane Heyer and Swede Knox are the linesmen. The off-ice officials are from Chicago. The video goal judge is Paul Ryan. And this game from the Met Center in Bloomington is underway with the Red Wings down 2-0 to the Minnesota North Stars. Yzerbaard, Burr, and Fedorov start for Brian Murray, and Burr is in throwing his weight around, hitting Mark Tenorti as they did early in game number 2. Fedorov centering pass. Yzerbaard couldn't handle the puck in front of the net. The defensemen are Chason and Konstantinov. Stu Gavin, starting left winger for the Minnesota North Stars, shot the puck and it went off the stick into the seats. Dave Gagne and Trent Platt, the other starting forwards for Bob Gainey.
Well, maybe there is a release of pressure right now on the Detroit Red Wings. Brian Murray talked before the game about the fact that even in Detroit right now, the start of the season, well, the start of the playoff season anyway, they had the big Stanley Cup on the front page of the newspapers, and expectations were rising high. All of a sudden now he says that the Red Wing fans, he thinks, have written them off. That might help these young Detroit Red Wing players coming into this building tonight. They're definitely the underdogs now.
They played well on the road and they've won in this building. In their last meeting here, as a matter of fact, 7-4, they snapped a 9-game winless streak here. Steve Yzerman out for his first shift. He played 26 minutes in game number 2. A lot of it in the first period when the Red Wings had a couple of early power plays. Mike Modano checked Yzerman off the draw. Modano's centering pass to the front of the net. And the puck was batted ahead in the attacking zone, so play is stopped and the faceoff will come outside the blue line.
Bob Gainey really has no reason to change his game plan. In fact, it might even make it a little bit easier for him now. He does have the last line change. I asked Brian Murray whether he would try to do anything differently as far as getting away from any set matchups, and he said not at all, that he was going to stick with the momentum and he'll turn those 3 lines over pretty quickly.
Murray has done some line juggling for the start of this game. He has Gerard Gallant playing the left wing. Steve Yzerman and Kevin Miller are his line mates. Duchesne, Modano, and Broughton are out for Bob Gainey's Minnesota North Stars. Nicholas Lidstrom with Brad McCrimmon on defense. Lidstrom got the puck out to center. Swedish rookie over center, turned back. Steve Yzerman over to Brad McCrimmon. And the most experienced of the Red Wings in playoff competition dumps the puck in. It's dumped right back out to center. Here's a 2-on-1. Broughton all alone is Modano.
Establish a little bit of confidence early in this game. This won't help. Broughton knew that Modano was all alone in the middle ice, and so he just fed that pass over to him just as Nicholas Lidstrom was trying to cut the pass down. Modano with a great wrist shot.
1-11 and Minnesota's out front 1-0. That won't do much for the confidence of the Red Wings, as fragile as it is now. And the defensive pair of McCrimmon and Lidstrom had trouble in this series, and they're victimized early. McCrimmon was nowhere to be seen. One to nothing on Modano's goal from Broughton at 1:11. And Modano has his second goal of the series. The Red Wings have 7 defensemen dressed tonight. They scratched Mike Sillinger, young forward who played on game number 2 on Monday night. And Bobby Dallas is up from Adirondack on the farm team, and he's out now. Johnson gets the second assist on the goal by Modano, so it's Modano from Broughton and Johnson at 1:11. And Jim Johnson is becoming quite a star in this playoff rise for the North Stars.
Boy, he's sure dug down deep, hasn't he?
Brad Marsh into the lineup. Veteran of 2 Stanley Cup finals, adds some experience to the Red Wings defensive core. He's been inserted tonight. Out on the ice with Vladimir Konstantinov. Here's Chris Dahlquist with a long shot in for the North Stars. Up on the puck is Dave Gagne. Trent Platt comes in and hits Sean Burr. David Shaw pinching in from the right point, trying to keep the puck in for the North Stars, and does so. Dave Gagne trying to get to the front of the net. Marsh held him up. Cheveldae plays the puck. Sean Burr's long pass for Fedorov is an icing call against the Red Wings because Fedorov couldn't get to the puck. All sorts of extras around for the Detroit Red Wings. They've made some changes tonight. Crossman, McClellan were scratched from the other games. Greg Millen no longer backing up. Bob McGill has been scratched. Fedek is hurt. LaPointe called up to join the team but not playing. Crowder and Kozlov and Sillinger healthy but sitting out.
North Stars scratches. Basil McRae. Ramage not playing tonight again. McRae's out for pretty much the season. Shane Churla we thought might get in. Todd Alec skated again, and he probably could have played, but being up 2-0, there's no reason to.
Here's another look at the goal. You can see Lidstrom. There's McCrimmon pinching in, trying to keep the puck in, and he couldn't do it. So Brad McCrimmon's caught up the ice.
So often a veteran player like Brad McCrimmon knows how important it is for his Red Wings to get that first goal, to get some confidence, and so they were trying to press, and it ended up costing them.
Mike Modano, the leading scorer for the North Stars during the regular season, picks up his second goal and 4th point and leads the team in playoff scoring. Along with Broughton, who now has 4 points. There's another icing call against the Red Wings. There hasn't been as frantic a start to this game as there was to game 2. The first period of that game might be the hardest hitting period of hockey I've seen. It was incredible.
It was an amazing first period of play, no question about it. And everyone around the league, I think, was talking about the number of hits that were thrown out in that first period. Tim Cheveldae's backup, Jim, as you had mentioned at the start of this game, is Vince Rondeau, who is now back. He had a rotator cuff problem, and yet he's only practiced once. They took Greg Millen out. That kind of tells me that they might be pulling Cheveldae if he lets in 1 or 2 bad goals. They may not wait as they did in game 1 and 2.
Burr, Fedorov, and Isabard out again, and John Casey holds on to the side of his goal.
Casey really has been remarkable. At times he has been downright lucky, and goaltenders will always say, though, that when they're playing well, of course, luck goes with it. There have been times in both games, number 1 and 2, whereby Casey has been down flat in his back, and the Red Wings have fired that puck right into him. So he has been lucky, but he's made some great saves as well.
Red Wings would do well to make him play the puck. He's not very good outside of his goal crease with the puck. There's a sharp-angled shot by Primo. There's a blast from Yzerman, and how did that stay out of the net? Now the Red Wings' Steve Yzerman, who leads all playoff performers in shots on goal, just can't buy one.
So a little bad luck, good luck here. Bad luck for Steve Yzerman. And the good luck that we just talked about for John Casey continues.
Yzerman with Gallant and Miller on this forward unit. Nicholas Lidstrom no longer paired with McCrimmon. They've split them up and put Lidstrom out with Yves Racine, and Lidstrom on the right side as opposed to the left side where he's accustomed to play. Mark Tenorti out to Gaetan Duchesne. Looking around, has Modano on the other side, gets the pass to him, and the shot goes wide of the net. Pitching in is Tenorti, takes the shot. Cheveldae made the save. Tenorti again with some room. Backhand shot. Cheveldae stopped it. The rebound goes to the end boards. Reversing on the boards was Broughton. Here's Modano up front. Shoots that. Cheveldae got a piece of that. Darian Hatcher trying to keep the puck in. Modano golfed at it and did keep the puck inside the blue line, and now the Red Wings come up. A pass for Yzerman got by him. Almost 4 minutes into the game, 1-0 Minnesota on a Mike Modano goal at 1:11. And Minnesota ices the puck as the pace picks up. This Molson Canadian Hockey telecast continues from the Met Center in a moment. Stars for Minnesota to do well on this night. Here's their playoff record on the 22nd of April. 5 wins and 1 loss.
Red Wings wouldn't like to see that, would they?
That statistic and $6 will get you a cup of coffee in New York. 4-1 are the shots on goal for Minnesota. They lead the game 1-0. Here's Bobby Dallas. Since the 4th of March, he's been playing on the farm in Adirondack, but called up to help out in the playoffs. He's out with Steve Chason playing the point. There's another icing call against Minnesota, and a very slow pace to the start of this game.
What do you think of them taking Probert away from Stevie Yzerman, first of all? I mean, Bob Probert, a lot was expected of him in this series. Fact was that he was going to have to be the tough, intimidating player that was going to gain possession of the puck and take on Shane Churla. Shane Churla didn't end up in the lineup.
But Yzerman's been okay. He's played pretty well in this series. I think this is an attempt to get Probert going. And Carson and Shepard haven't done much either, so maybe Brian Murray wants Probert to play tough on that line, get the puck for Carson.
More than likely, because you sure can't blame Steve Yzerman or Sergei Fedorov with their play in the first 2 games. They were the bright spots for the Red Wings.
2 extra forwards. They're Keith Primo and Alan Kerr with 7 defensemen dressed, and they're getting a shift here with Sergei Fedorov, who's double shifting. I'm sure Yzerman will do some of that too. Here's Mark Bureau breaking in, takes the shot, and Cheveldae makes the save. The rebound, and Cheveldae stopped that. Rebound dropped in front of him, and I'm not sure that he knew it was there. John Casey sets up the puck for Chris Dahlquist. His defensive partner is David Shaw. Bureau lost the puck. Fedorov spins around. Primo's dumped right into the goal by defenseman David Shaw. Konstantinov back for the puck. And yet another icing call against the Minnesota North Stars.
I saw Primo heading straight for the net. When he sees that Sergei Fedorov has possession of the puck, that's exactly where he's supposed to go. Not into the crease, of course, but he had help doing that. He's a big man that has a big reach and needs to crack that wall in front of Casey.
Well, they have a lot of players. Well, maybe not a lot of players, but a few key players that have to break the wall and play hard. Now, the Red Wings are a very talented team. They have skillful puck carriers, but they don't have a lot of players who go and get the puck, that play tough along the boards. And in playoff hockey, you have to do that. So Probert, Gallant, Primo become key players, and Sean Burr in this game. And you notice Murray has one of them on each line.
You have to have one key player on each line that has the physical abilities to win the battles along the boards and in the corners and get the puck to your key scorers.
Quick shift for Alan Kerr. He's another one of those who could play a physical game and did in game number 2 and scored a big goal. Fedorov, Isobart shot, that's wide of the net. Sean Burr also out. Quick shift for Kerr and Primo, the extra forwards. Here's Stu Gavin with a backhand shot, and he scooped it up over Cheveldae's goal. 5.5 minutes into the first period, 1-0 Minnesota. Fedorov is hurt. Fedorov is down on the ice, hurt. Darian Hatcher takes the shot. The rebound, he's trying to stuff that in. Cheveldae stopped him. Fedorov's back up. But the whistle didn't go. The Minnesota North Stars had the puck, and they almost put it in the net to stop play.
Red Wings were down 1 with Fedorov on the ice. And I think the Red Wings were fortunate that they got a whistle because that puck was still loose. Look at the hit.
Darian Hatcher got it.
Didn't seem to be that hard of a hit. I think it was the way that Fedorov fell.
No, he saw it coming at the last minute.
May have caught him in the chest and just knocked the wind out of him for a moment.
Darian Hatcher is only 19 years old in his first season in the NHL, but when he missed 27 games with an injury, they really missed him because he was their best defenseman when he went out of the lineup.
They sure did miss him, and it was funny talking to the North Stars while he was out because they talked very openly about how much they missed him. And now you see as Hatcher was on that last shift, right in there looking for that loose puck. He's been a great performer on the blue line for the North Stars and is only going to get better. Well, much like his brother.
6 years younger than Kevin and catching up in a hurry in his caliber of play. Jim Johnson, nearby New Hope, Minnesota. New Hope, not No Hope.
Thanks, Huey, for clarifying that.
What a good playoff performer he's been. Johnson puts the puck up the boards. North Stars get it out. Here's Neil Broughton, Modano trailing. The drop pass, and he fanned on the shot. Steve Yzerman back out to center. Kevin Miller, and the play is called back offside.
Modano won't miss too often, but he sure missed on that drop pass.
Can you believe how Neil Broughton's skating in this series?
Unbelievable. Meanwhile, Gallant's had a tough start to playoffs.
Watch him scoop. Neil Broughton.
He's got his head up. Now watch, nifty little drop pass through the legs. Modano just clearly missed it.
Swing and a miss.
Swish. Hey, back to this for it, pal.
Smith out now. On a line with Modano and Bellows. Hatcher and Tenorti paired on defense. Red Wings have Bob Probert out on the ice with Ray Shepard and Jimmy Carson. There's a giveaway taken by Bellows. Konstantinov skates by Modano. Hatcher moves up, takes the loose puck, turned back at center ice, and Mark Tenorti turns, looks around, makes the play to Darian Hatcher. Back to Tenorti. 6.5 minutes into the first period, Minnesota leading 1-0 on Modano's second goal of the playoffs at 1:11. Bob Probert gave the puck away with a backhand pass. Bellows mixes it up with Jimmy Carson. Konstantinov over to get the puck. In for Shepard. Dahlquist just pushed the puck the length of the ice, and here's Derek Smith racing after it. Cheveldae's out to play the puck. Around on the boards. Bellows gets it. Cheveldae hustled back into his net. Bellows trying to come off the boards. Ran into Derek Smith. Smith to the end boards. Bobby Smith centering pass. Dahlquist shot went wide of the net. And now there's a penalty being called, a slashing call. It'll go against Detroit, I believe, and the Minnesota North Stars will go to the power play as Konstantinov goes to the penalty box.
You know that.
Vladimir Konstantinov goes off for slashing at 7:22. The Red Wings shorthanded, and the Minnesota power play's been good.
Good pressure by the North Stars on that last shift. Bellows and Smith working the corner. Red Wings couldn't get the puck off of them.
Minnesota's power play, 21st during the regular season, has scored 4 times in 9 opportunities in this playoff series. Gagne, Klatt, Dahlin out on the power play to get it started. Shaw and Tenorti playing the points. Sergei Fedorov out killing the penalty. He's got Sean Burr with him, Bobby Dallas, Steve Chason. Red Wings penalty killing during the regular season was 9th. And they're a threat to score shorthanded. Steve Yzerman scored 8 times while a man short, and he'll be out killing this penalty soon enough. Trent Klatt out of the University of Minnesota. Lost the puck behind the net. Chason finds a port, sends the puck down the ice. 1 minute, 15 seconds to go in the penalty to Konstantinov. Here's Dave Shaw. Pressure to the boards by Kevin Miller. Shot the puck in. Chason's back for it. And there's an icing call against the Minnesota power play with 1:05 left in the penalty.
There you see the North Stars regular season power play. Ugh, doesn't look good at all, but playoff power play, unbelievable, 44%.
Last year they went from 19.9% of the power play in the regular season to 23% in the playoffs and scored 35 times with a man advantage en route to the Stanley Cup Finals against Pittsburgh.
Sure had a lot of practice early though on it.
Yeah, Chicago was shorthanded a few times, weren't they? 15 power play goals for Minnesota against Chicago in round number 1 last year.
They didn't have to practice it the days between games, that's for sure.
Bobby Smith to Brian Bellows. Modano shoots, and he hammered a shot wide of the net. Cruising in from the right side. Modano had a lot of time and a lot of room.
Yeah, he saw that room top shelf, right above Cheveldae's glove.
40 seconds to go in the Konstantinov penalty. This is Brad McCrimmon's first shift since he got caught up ice in the Modano goal. He's out killing the penalty. Darian Hatcher moving in. Bobby Smith at the point. The puck was poked away by Kevin Miller. He's out with Yzerman, McCrimmon, and Marsh. Lots of experience on defense here, killing the penalty. Marsh hammers the puck around the boards. Bellows stopped it, wouldn't let it out. Gagne goes to the front of the net. Bobby Smith back to Bellows. Johnson has moved in, takes the pass, side of the net, they score! Gagne! And the power play strikes for the 5th time in the series.
They didn't get off to a great start in the power play, but then in this last rush, they were able to get set up, get possession in the quick hands of Gagne once again. Proves costly to the Red Wings. Watch Cheveldae right here. Great angle. He got that right pad out, but didn't connect.
There's Jim Johnson again with his 2nd assist in this game. His 4th point of the series. Moved in from the point, took the pass from Bellows, set up Gagne, 2-0 Minnesota. Gagne from Johnson and Bellows at 9:14 on the power play. And the Red Wings are in big trouble. Down 2-0 in this series, 2-0 in this game. 10:29 to play in period number 1. This Molson Canadian Hockey telecast is back after this. Their chances, 1 shot on the power play and they put it in.
You've really got to like the way that Dave Gagne has played in these couple of games so far, and again tonight he's showing that he's just going to take right off where he left off in the first 2 games. Great quickness and abilities to find the open, and he's got a soft set of hands on him.
Neil Broughton up the boards for Duchesne. He was checked at center by Steve Chason. Alan Kerr picked up from the Islanders in a deal for Rick Green. To center, Dallas dumps the puck in. Duchesne, first man back for it. Yzerman took the puck, bounces to the point. The blast by Chason, blocked in front. Dahlquist got the puck to the boards. Alan Kerr to Yzerman, wraparound attempt to the front of the net, and Broughton comes out. 3-on-3, Broughton leading the way, and he's at the end of a shift. He dumps the puck in and heads for the bench. Steve Chason. Red Wings are changing on the go as well. Alan Kerr gets the puck over center with Yzerman, and Probert dumps the puck in, and the line change will be completed. Carson and Shepard come out to join Probert for the Red Wings against Bobby Smith, Alf Dahlen. Darian Hatcher pinching in. Bellows is out on this forward line for Minnesota as well. Ulf Dahlin. Bellows in front. Bobby Smith all alone. Missed the net. Cheveldae was down. Bobby Smith couldn't put it home. Yves Racine now for the Red Wings. Out to center to Ray Shepherd. Carson's bump. Bellows is back for the puck. Bellows trying to go up the boards. Does. Ulf Dahlin trying to move out against Yves Racine. And the puck's up and out of play.
Red Wings are fortunate. This could have been a 3-0 hockey game. Bobby Smith had plenty of opportunity. And how did he miss? Good question. Cheveldae sure gave him a lot of room. Cheveldae was way over hugging the post, and when he went to move, he fell down. And then he stumbled as he tried to get up. Cheveldae has not looked sharp again in this game.
But you know, he's abandoned by his defense again. At the start of the season, Gary, preseason prognosticators said that a weak point of the Red Wings would be a defense that was getting old, wasn't very mobile. But then Lidstrom and Konstantinov came in and had great seasons. And now in the playoffs, the defense is having problems again. It is the Achilles heel, perhaps.
Lidstrom and Konstantinov have definitely had difficulties, but it's their veterans, Brad McCrimmon, who has not played exceptionally well. Chason's had a lot of ice time. Hasn't played poorly by any means, but they just haven't had enough strong defensemen that have done the job for them in their own end zone. But at the same time, when that doesn't happen, then you've got to have someone else being the anchor for you, and you expect your goaltender to come up with some real big saves for you.
John Casey done that for Minnesota. Here's Sean Berg. Sergei Fedorov. Puck was taken away from him. Ludwig came out to the point to check him. Stu Gavin in with Platt and Gagne. Cheveldae out to play the puck. Got it by Gagne. Up the boards to Sean Berg. His pass for Fedorov. Berg was checked by Platt, who's now headed off on a line change. And it'll be yet another icing call against Minnesota. They seem content to keep this pace very slow against the Red Wings. That's the score in the game and the series. Minnesota out front. Welcome back to the Met Center in Bloomington. I'm Jim Houston with Gary Green and John Wells. Jim Van Horn will keep an eye on all the other games tonight, bring you up to date as events happen. At the other venues, here Neil Broughton is getting set to face off against Steve Yzerman. Yzerman won the draw cleanly, but right back between the defense to center. Does that epitomize what's going on with the Red Wings?
Sure does, perfectly.
You do something right and get nothing for it. Here's Yzerman in front, trying to get the backhand away and can't do it. Now he's back to the point. Spun away from one man, Broughton, and lost the puck to Modano. Gallant got the puck to Miller. He shoots. That's blocked. Modano blocked the shot and it didn't get through to Casey. Chason pinching into the right side. Tenorti will try and come out the other side. Darian Hatcher scoops the puck in the air as he's hit by Miller. Shot right back in by Steve Chason.
All 5 North Stars were below the top of the circle. All back in protection of John Casey and all looking for the puck.
Darian Hatcher to Mark Tenorti. He dumps the puck in, heads to the bench on a Minnesota line change. Bobby Dallas back to collect the puck. Out at center, Alan Kerr gains the blue line. Yzerman goes to the front of the net. Primo's out on this forward line as well. Keith Primo to Yzerman. Brad Marsh pinches in from the left side, puts the puck in behind the net. Chris Dahlquist is there to pick it up for Minnesota. He managed to get the puck on a deflection out to center. Ulf Dahlin tipped the puck by Brad Marsh. Bobby Smith on him, but Marsh recovered, got the puck to Sean Burr. Here's a Detroit 3-on-2. Alan Kerr shoots, missed the net. Ulf Dahlin hacks at the puck, gets it out to center. Konstantinov with Bobby Smith in pursuit. No icing. Konstantinov gets the puck, turned away from Bobby Smith. Rink wide for Alan Kerr. He's with Burr and Primo right now. Kerr forced back in his own zone to Vladimir Konstantinov. Up the middle, Primo to Alan Kerr. Long shot, deflected and went just wide. Detroit's on a line change. Probert's out on the ice. Tried to throw a hit and missed. Jim Johnson, Derek Smith now with a shot. That's blocked. Johnson was the man Probert was trying to hit. Mike Craig in behind the net, sandwiched. And the Red Wings get the puck. Burr out to center. His mate was headed off, so Derek Smith got the puck. Craig Ludwig shot it in. Probert's trying to goad Derek Smith into a fight. He's after Mark Bureau. He's trying to get anybody on the ice into a scrap. And it's not working. Going to get a penalty for it. This Molson Canadian Hockey telecast returns in just a moment. For roughing at 14-12.
He's just purely frustrated. I saw it a couple of shifts ago when he was trying in the Red Wing end zone to get Hatcher to push with him. Hatcher had no interest whatsoever, was looking for possession of the puck. And this time, Probert earned himself a 2-minute minor.
Brian Murray knows that Probert can do more than fight, and he has to do it in this series. He's got to concentrate on hitting and getting the puck as opposed to trying to get someone into a fight.
So back to what Bob Gainey said in game number 1, the reason why he scratched Shane Churla is they were not going to beat the Detroit Red Wings in this series by fighting.
Minnesota 1-for-1 with a man advantage. You know, they've outshot the Red Wings 10-3 in this period. There have been 4 shots on goal since the 5-minute mark. That's the last 10 minutes, and they've been all by Minnesota. David Shaw, Mark Tenorti just onside. Dahlin's in front of the net. Platt and Gagne out in the power play as well. Gagne goes in on the right side. Dahlis golfs at the puck, trying to move it down the ice and can't do it. Dahlin to Gagne. Platt in front of the net working against Chason. From the point, Shaw over to Tenorti. Faked the shot, pass into the slot, was cleared by the Red Wings. And here's Sergei Fedorov at center, number 91. Yzerman out with him, killing the penalty now. Half a minute gone in the Probert minor. 5 minutes to go in period number 1. 2-0 Minnesota. David Shaw. Mark Tenorti. Ulf Dahlin. Steve Yzerman. And the Red Wings out to center. Here's Fedorov breaking away. 2-1. The Red Wings are on the board. A shorthanded goal by Sergei Fedorov has put the Red Wings within 1 of Minnesota in the first period and might give them some life.
Isn't it amazing how power plays can either spark your hockey club or take the momentum right away from you? That's exactly what it did for the North Stars. Fedorov, you're not going to catch him. Not a chance. One of the fastest players in the National Hockey League, and he just made a nice move on John Casey, staying with his forehand. Casey commits himself, and Fedorov just waited him out and then put it neatly behind him.
Fedorov and Yzerman team up at 15:06, the second shorthanded goal against Minnesota's power play in this series.
North Stars were really sloppy on that power play, not just because of Fedorov being able to grab possession of the puck, but prior to that, their passes weren't good and they weren't sharp.
So it's 2-1. Minnesota's still on the power play for 50 seconds. Probert sitting out for roughing. That really could give the Red Wings some life. Miller and Yzerman out killing the penalty now. Brian Bellows picks up speed over the blue line, shoots. Marsh blocked the shot. Miller can't clear. Modano for Bobby Smith. The pass didn't connect, and Bobby Dallas clears the puck to center. Here's Mike Modano with Bellows and Smith. Checked at center ice by Yzerman. Darian Hatcher now moves in over the blue line. Leaves the puck for Bobby Smith. Takes the shot towards the net, and Cheveldae stopped that. Brian Bellows now has Smith out front. The pass into the goal mouth, steered aside by Cheveldae. Mike Modano to the point. Dahlquist keeps the puck in. Penalty's almost over. Probert's out of the penalty box. Marsh with the long pass for Keith Primo. Minnesota North Stars 1 for 2 on the power play. Here they come, though, at even strength. Bellows shot just missed. Modano throws a hit at Keith Primo. Sean Burr for Probert. Coming off the bench was Mark Bureau, number 11 for the North Stars, to get the puck. Scoots in on McCrimmon, goes wide on it. Mike Craig in behind the net after the puck. Craig looks around, puts the puck to the inboard. Cheveldae's out, just got the puck by Derek Smith. Probert to Burr, over center, he dumps the puck in. Ray Shepard in on the right wing. And there's a penalty being called. Shepard got a stick in the face, and there'll be a Minnesota penalty. And the Red Wings, having scored shorthanded, will go to the power play, but for how long? Ludwig's going off.
Everyone's holding their breath right here till we find out whether it's 2 or 5.
There's the stick in the face, and Ludwig might be finished for the night. This could be a high-sticking major in game misconduct at 16:53 of the first.
I don't think there's much question after watching that replay that he should be out of the game.
That's it. Ludwig's gone. 5 minutes, a major for high sticking, and the North Stars are down to 5 defensemen. They'll be shorthanded for 5 minutes, leading by a goal, and this could really change the complexion of this game if the Red Wings power play can get going.
That'll be the key right now, because if it doesn't get going in the first couple of minutes, it could start to work against them.
Fedorov's goal shorthanded was unassisted at 15:06. And now it's the North Stars, and Bob Gainey will be shorthanded. Again, the Detroit power play, 0 for 5 in game 2, 0 for 11 in the series. 3:07 left in the first. North Stars win the draw, brought into Dahlquist. And Tenorti batted the puck down the ice. Chase on, Lidstrom out on the power play. Kevin Miller playing up front. Jerry Gallant, Steve Yzerman, set line on the power play. Yzerman gets the puck away from Tenorti. Gallant to Miller. Chason's open at the point. Miller lost the puck. Yzerman gets a hold of it. Back to Miller. Gallant goes to the front of the net. Here's Steve Yzerman now. Takes the shot, deflected off the side of the net. Miller's centering pass comes to the point. Nicholas Lidstrom now. Into the corner by Gallant, around on the boards. Yzerman goes to the puck. 2:20 to play in the period. 2-1 Minnesota. Just about a minute gone in the major to Craig Ludwig. Still no shots on goal for the Red Wings early in this power play. Steve Yzerman behind the net. Kevin Miller. Gallant working out front now, comes in behind to help out. Andy Van Hellemond makes the players play the puck. Tenorti does.
A bigger reach of Tenorti's pays off.
Down to the last 2 minutes of the first period, Steve Chason carries the puck in. There'll be some changes on the power play. Shot from the point, they score! A screenshot from the point by Nicholas Lidstrom has tied the game, and the power play continues. The first power play goal for the Red Wings in the series.
Well, finally, the Red Wings get a little bit of luck. Watch when Lidstrom gets possession of that puck, he just tees it up and then lets it go. I think it may have changed directions. Casey didn't seem to react to it. But for the Red Wings, they could care less right now how it went in. It went in, and this game is all tied up. And they're still on the power play.
Not a particularly hard shot, but obviously a screen shot. And a tie game, still 3.5 minutes with which to work on the power play for the Red Wings. It'll be a relief for them to finally get a goal on the power play after an 0 for 23 slump.
5 games they've gone in this building without having scored on the power play. That's remarkable.
Minute 25 to play in the first period. 2-2 tie at the Met Center in Bloomington. Lidstrom gets the goal. Chason and Chevelday get the assists. Burr turns and shoots it. Casey made a save on him. Minute to go in the first period. Chevelday's out again. Plays the puck to Yves Racine, and over the blue line to Paul Isabart. Back to Racine. Dallas on the other side. To the front of the net. Fedorov couldn't tip the shot. Bobby Dallas, left point. Ran interference on Broughton, and he got away with it. The puck had got by him, and Dallas took Broughton down so that he couldn't go after the puck. Fedorov over the blue line. Slowed up by Mark Tenorti. Dahlquist gets the puck the length of the ice. We're down to the last half minute of period number 1 in a 2-2 tie. Bob Probert out of the power play with Fedorov and Shepard. Chason and Lidstrom back out on the points. Dumped in by the Red Wings. Dahlquist the first man back. Off the boards. Can't get the puck by Steve Chason. Running out of time are the Red Wings in this period. Stu Gavin gets the puck, and he'll kill the remaining seconds of the first period. But the Red Wings have finally scored on the power play and tied the game up and have a minute and 53 seconds with which to work on the power play to start period number 2. 2-2 after 1. Here's John.
And just when it looked like the Red Wings weren't going to be able to buy a break in this series, they finally come back from a 2-0 deficit to the Stars in Bloomington. The North Stars got the first two. Modano from Broughton and Johnson, 1:11 in. Then on the power play at 9:14, Gagner from Johnson and Bellows to make it 2-0 North Stars. The Red Wings came back shorthanded, 15:06. Sergei Fedorov, his third of the playoffs from Steve Yzerman. And at 18:14, Lidstrom from Chasen and Chevelday makes it 2-2 after 1. Shots on goal in the first, favoring the North Stars 11-7. Quite a turnaround in the last 5 minutes, and still almost 2 minutes to go on a Red Wing power play.
So the Red Wings have pulled even on the power play and a chance to move ahead. They finally bumped the slump with the man advantage after 23 straight power plays at the end of the season and into the playoffs without scoring. Yzerman's in front of the net. Jerry Gallant in the corner, trying to get the puck to Yzerman. Tenorti blasted it, couldn't get the puck out. Lidstrom keeps it in at the right side. Then shot the length of the ice by Chris Dahlquist. And the first man back is Steve Chason for the Red Wings. Tim Chevelday and John Casey, the goaltenders. Andy Van Hellemond is the referee. 2-2 tie at the Met Center. Before a rather subdued crowd tonight. There's a delayed offside call against Detroit. Maybe these people now expect their team to be in the Stanley Cup final, so they're not so excited about this early playoff accomplishment.
Playoff spoiled, possibly? Well, maybe the weather's a little too cool outside. It was definitely not the same spring weather that the East has been enjoying.
There were a few tailgate parties on today, but they needed a barbecue for heat. And the building is not full tonight.
No, I was surprised by that. I thought after winning 2 big games right in Detroit that they would have no problem selling this building out.
Minute 3 seconds to go in the major penalty to Craig Ludwig. A high-sticking major. He's out of the game. Mike Modano is over serving the remaining minute in that major. Shot by Sean Burr, who led all shooters with 3 shots on goal in the first period. He's out in front. Yzerman's shot. That's stopped by Casey. Loose at the side of the net, and Casey covers up.
Yzerman didn't have a good game number 1. He played much better in the second game in Detroit, using some of his speed. Tonight, he's gotten plenty of ice time. Still hasn't really been involved in a lot of good scoring chances.
High shot easily stopped by Casey, and it covered up at the side of the net. Yzerman is one of the players who is very effective during the regular season, but has so very little playoff experience.
He's got the quick speed. He can go to the outside, but against a good checking hockey club, that's so much more difficult to do.
He's out with Burr and Fedorov. Burr in behind the net. Sergei Fedorov to the point in this power play. Racine to McCrimmon. His shot tipped just wide. Burr tried to get the puck to Yzerman. McCrimmon pinches in from the right side. Yzerman for Sean Burr. Back into the middle. Loose puck cleared by Racine and down the ice. Under half a minute to go in the penalty. Each team scored a power play goal in the first period. The Red Wings scored shorthanded. A 2-2 tie early in the second. Dumped in by the Red Wings. One last rush here in the power play and a chance to get set up, but they can't get the puck. Neil Broughton slowly skates out. Jim Johnson was dumped by Burr. The fans wanted a penalty and didn't get the call from Andy Van Hellemond. Modano's back on the ice. The major is over. Minnesota at full strength. Nice glove save by Casey on Yzerman and a hard shot. Offside pass.
Seemed to have been some question about that offside pass.
Certainly from the fans.
Modano came right out of that penalty box and he was sure looking for that long breakaway pass. Meanwhile, Yzerman was shooting on a more regular basis. Nice hat, pal. I mean, it looks almost like, you know what, our microphones, which have got a nice mic. Stanley Cup on them. This guy maybe took it off, put down his hat.
Good old Cuphead.
Sure, he'd like to carry that handle around.
Bobby Smith had a great playoff run last year for the North Stars. He scored 5 game-winning goals. And he scored in this series already when he'd been in a long scoring slump. It had been a month between goals for Bobby, but he picked the right time to get one. Todd Elliott got hurt. He stepped in, playing full-time with Bellows and Modano and doing a nice job. Facing off here with Steve Yzerman. Smith won the draw. Chris Dahlquist off the boards for Bellows. Kerr cut off the pass. Alan Kerr spins around, has 2 men screening in front. Kerr tripped up. There'll be a penalty here, and Bobby Smith will get the penalty for hauling down Alan Kerr, and the Red Wings will go right back to the power play. So while Bobby goes to the penalty box, we'll go to St. Louis with Jim Van Horn. Stops apparently.
Doesn't seem that way, not tonight. Take a look at this. Kerr was heading straight into the slot. He was on his backhand and working his way in closer on John Casey, and Bobby Smith just pulled the legs right out from underneath of him.
Jimmy Carson out on the power play with Ray Shepard and Bob Probert. Lidstrom and Chason man the points. Gaetan Duchesne and Neil Broughton penalty killing, along with Chris Dahlquist and North Star captain Mark Tenorti. Already 20 seconds gone in the penalty. Chason will lead the rush on the power play for the Red Wings. Gains center, fires the puck in. Carson in on the right side, so is Shepard, but neither can come up with the puck. Gaetan Duchesne sends the Red Wings back.
Notice how the wingers coming back for the North Stars are going wide once that puck shot in, and Casey just lets that puck go right around behind the net.
He'll let it go again. They'll stack everyone on the right side and this time get the puck. Shepard, Chason shot, blocked, he'll get it back. Chason over to Lidstrom. Carson now, Probert screening in front of the net. Pass to the point, gets by Lidstrom. Over a minute gone in the penalty to Bobby Smith. 2-2 tie early in the second period at the Met Center. Tenorti with some time. Miller bearing down on him. Plays the puck to the point. Gallant kept it in. And Gavin finished off the clearing.
Tenorti knows that when he picks up that puck in his own end zone and he's going to try to clear it, he's got to put it up high. Up along the glass is best.
Half a minute to go in this power play. Yzerman smoothly over the blue line. Spins around. Over to Racine to the front of the net. Casey's got it.
He's got it, but did he see it?
Doesn't seem to matter with him in the playoffs anymore. Lidstrom got one by him, but quite often he's been able to make saves that he apparently couldn't see. I think he could see that one.
Yeah, he could see it from that angle. He was just standing and allowing that puck to hit him without any rebound.
23 seconds for the Red Wings to work on this power play.
I think probably the save by John Casey that bothered Brian Murray the most was the one to the end of the game, game number 2, where Casey kicked it out with his right pad. Didn't even see the puck.
Not till it hit his pad. North Stars get the puck off the draw. Can't move it out. Gallant to Yzerman. Knocked down in the corner. Jim Johnson. Dallas anticipated, pinched in, got the puck in behind the net for Kevin Miller. Tenorti's there to intercept though. Up the boards, Broughton to the blue line, not out. Racine, as the penalty expires, fired the puck in. Casey's got it. Bobby Smith's back on the ice. And the Red Wings are now 1 for 3 with a man advantage.
The higher the pucks come at John Casey, the easier it is for him to make the save. It's far easier for a goaltender to follow that puck when it's up around shoulder height than it is when it's low with a lot of sticks and shin pads in the way.
And now the Minnesota North Stars are back at even strength with the Red Wings. They've spent much of the last 7 minutes of playing time shorthanded.
One thing to keep in mind about Casey, even though he had a miserable season, he was still 3-1-1 against the Detroit Red Wings.
Sean Burr facing off against Dave Gagne. Burr centering pass. Fedorov couldn't come up with the puck. Cruising back into his own zone to get it is Stu Gavin. Stopped by Burr, gets the puck back, ran into Gagne at center. He golfs at the puck in the air. Burr with Fedorov and Yzerman. Flips the puck in, wide of the net. Icing against Detroit. 15-14 to play in the second period. A 2-2 tie in game number 3 of the NHL tonight. And taking names, Chicago, who else on there? St. Louis and Edmonton. I guess they want to add Detroit to that list. The Met Center in Bloomington, home of the Minnesota North Stars, and they're in a 2-2 tie with the Detroit Red Wings. Sergei Fedorov and Dave Gagne facing up. Gagne won the draw. Jim Johnson's shot is blocked, and out quickly comes Paul Yzerman, leading a 3-on-2 Red Wing rush. Fedorov, Burr goes for the net. Fedorov takes the shot, deflected and went to the boards, and Fedorov broke his stick taking the shot. Out come the North Stars. Dave Gagne leading a 3-on-3 rush. Gavin goes to the net. The puck is flipped towards the goal, but the play was called offside.
Gagne just held back with that puck a little bit too long at the blue line, and unfortunately Klatt went offside.
He's one of 15 players of Bob Gaine's team that have come from other organizations. Gagne started out as a first-round pick of the New York Rangers.
In Detroit, for the 2 games, Gagne had lots of people coming to watch him. He lives on a farm. That's where he grew up anyway, and his folks still live there just outside of Chatham, Ontario. Maybe about a half an hour drive from Joe Louis Arena.
Gagne replaced by Frott. Got the draw to Tenorti. Tenorti flipped it in. Brad McCrimmon is back. Up the boards for Alan Kerr with Primo and Yzerman. Steve Yzerman over the blue line. Kerr goes for the net. There's the shot. Casey kicked it out. Yzerman had hoped, I'm sure, that would be deflected in front. Off the wing, Dahlin dumps the puck in. Hatcher goes to it, overskated the puck. Bellows with a shot. They score! Tipped in front by Neil Bruck.
Taking those shots from the point and keeping them a little bit lower. Hatcher just drove that puck, and Broughton was standing right in front. I'm sorry, that was Bellows that had moved back as Hatcher had moved in, and it was Bellows that fired the puck.
Best thing that happened in that play for the North Stars, I think, is that Hatcher overskated the puck and Bellows got to take the shot. Broughton tipped it in, and the North Stars have reestablished the lead. 3-2 over Detroit. Broughton gets his second point of the night and his first goal of the series.
Well, the same spot that Ryan Bellows shot the puck from that won the game for the North Stars in game number 1.
Here come the Stars, buoyed by that goal by Broughton. Back again, a pass to Johnson was behind him. Ever the opportunist, this team of North Stars. They've been outshot 7-0 by the Red Wings since the Ludwig major penalty until they scored. North Stars trying to push the puck out of their own zone. Probert trying to keep it in. There's a shot by Carson and a good save by a quick John Casey. Turning the puck over with Shepard. He intercepted a pass into Probert. Carson high in the slot. Shepard trying to feed him out front. He's checked by Bobby Smith. Smith up the middle. Did it get outside? Yes. But the North Stars got it no matter and send the puck the length of the ice. Probert rubbed out of the boards by Darian Hatcher. Pulled down was Racine. Strong-armed by Mike Craig. Mark Tenorti now flips the puck in the air as the pace of this game starts to pick up. Headed for the net is Derek Smith, and he had the puck swept away by Vladimir Konstantinov. Burr. Craig runs into him. Mike Craig bumps into Vladimir Konstantinov now. And the play is stopped because of an offside pass. 12:54 left in the second. 3-2 Stars on Molson's NHL tonight. And Bellows drew assists on Broughton's first goal at 5:39.
What a good job Hatcher has done in this series up against Bob Probert. Hatcher doesn't flinch at Probert's intimidating style or his size or strength, obviously, because Hatcher can match him with that size and strength. And when Probert tries to rough it up, Hatcher just skates away.
Big boys in that family. Mark was the first one to get to the NHL. He's not there anymore. He's huge. You know how big Kevin and Darian are.
Hatcher just stepped into Probert very quickly. Prior to that, Hatcher had stopped Probert along the boards.
Here's a shot from the point that Tim Cheveldae stopped. Hatcher got that one. Here he is with the puck at center. Just bumps it ahead from Mike Modano. Cheveldae leaves behind his net. Konstantinov up the boards. Miller to center. Chason over on the wing to Gallant. His shot. Casey stopped that. And he covers up. Taking no chances. What's going on in St. Louis, Jim?
More power.
Game here as well with Minnesota in the lead over Detroit 3-2. Hasn't had the pace of game number 2, and I think that's by design for Minnesota. They've really taken a lot of icing calls, trying to slow this game down, keep the Red Wings from skating.
Robert's right back out there again. He had a good shift last time out.
Brian Bellows, anxious to get started, was into the face-off circle. Bobby Smith beat Jimmy Carson on the draw. Bellows couldn't move the puck out. Brad McCrimmon to the front of the net. Casey lunged for it. Went into the corner. Shepard with a sharp-angled shot. The rebound is cleared after Casey made the save. Here's Jimmy Carson now. Into the corner to Ray Shepard. Probert goes in to help out now. Dahlquist is with him and takes his man down. And out come the North Stars. 3-on-2. Bobby Smith leading the way. Drop pass to Bellows. He shoots. He scores!
Just a great effort here. Watch Dahlquist. He puts Probert down, and that caused the turnover, and the North Stars break out then. Bobby Smith with that neat little drop pass to Brian Bellows, who just used a good wrist shot, put it right by Cheveldae on the short side.
There's going to be a goaltending change. Cheveldae is finally being pulled by Brian Murray, and Vince Riendeau is coming in to play goal.
A lot of pressure on Tim Cheveldae. You sure can't blame him for the Detroit Red Wings situation right now. However, he hasn't come up with the big saves that they hoped that he would when the team didn't respond so well in front of him.
Vince Riendeau picked up in a trade from St. Louis for Rick Zombo. Played so very little this year because he hurt himself as soon as he moved to Detroit early in the season. A rotator cuff injury that he's just coming back off of. Cheveldae's out, Riendeau is in, and the score is 4-2 Minnesota.
North Stars might just change their game plan a little bit here. Get a lot of shots on Riendeau early.
The goal, Bellows from Bobby Smith at 8:04 prompts the goaltending change. An offside call and a timeout for the TSN Turning Point following the game. Brought to you by Apple Auto Glass. How do you like to be in Vince Riendeau's skates tonight? Your team's trailing 2-0 in this series by 2 goals in the game, and all you're asked to do is come in and stop everything else the North Stars shoot at. He wanted to be a goalie.
I don't know how warmed up he can be, though, because he could only have got in a short practice yesterday and maybe one this morning.
There's a penalty here for interference as Yzerman was knocked down. Tenorti is going to go off. And the Red Wings will go to the power play.
Shane's getting pushed around. He put Yzerman down. And Gallant wasn't happy with that. Either was McCrimmon.
8:48, the time of the interference penalty to Mark Tenorti. The Red Wings to the power play when we come back on this Molson Canadian telecast.
Well, the Vancouver
Seen in this game how a 2-goal lead can evaporate in a hurry. 2-goal lead for the Minnesota North Stars now, but the Red Wings are on the power play. They've scored once on 3 opportunities in this game and dumped the puck in. But the play's called back because of an offside. Tenorti off for interference at 8:48.
He was playing Steve Yzerman very close, right at the blue line. That's what earned him a trip to the penalty box. Tenorti's been a major factor in the North Stars being up 2 games in this series. Duchesne was right involved in the Tenorti incident with Yzerman as well, and then it was Duchesne that they were angry at.
They're trying to get him into the penalty box. Sweet Knox was anyway. And all the while, Tenorti was sitting over there having already headed right to the box. Fedorov into the power play. Yzerman overskated the puck, moves it back to Fedorov, back to the point. Lidstrom over to Chason. Quick shot, hit an ankle in front. That hit Chris Dahlquist. Lidstrom over to Chason. Big screen in front. 3 men around the perimeter for the Red Wings, 2 screening in front. There's the pass over to Chason in his skates. Yzerman drops back to the point, trying to keep the puck in. Can't do it against Duchesne. Broughton's trying to break away. Lidstrom has him contained. Less than a minute to go in the penalty to Tenorti. We've reached the midway mark of the second period with Minnesota back in front by 2 at 4-2. Fedorov with a nifty little back pass, but Darian Hatcher got it. Stu Gavin fakes the shot outside of Lidstrom, cuts in front. Riendeau stopped him. Bureau almost put the puck in. Darian Hatcher at center. Knuckleball. A flipping puck in on Riendeau, and he made the save. Half a minute to go in a penalty. Bob Probert. Back to the point. Racine to the side of the net. Tipped by Carson, and Casey made the save. 9 seconds to go in the penalty to Mark Tenorti.
Finally, the Red Wings get at least that puck on Casey. A weak deflection. But they just haven't been sharp once again, and that's been such a big story in this series. The Red Wings on the power play not being sharp, not having any jump, and which oftentimes has taken away any momentum that they had going for them prior to the power play. It's a great angle. You can see Casey controlling his space. Trailing by 2. He's had to go to a goaltender who's only played in 5 games all season long. Got to try anything at this point, I guess. Carson won the draw. Probert's shot missed the net. 5 seconds to go in Tenorti's penalty. Racine pitching in from the point. On the power play that has now expired. Tenorti's back. Catching up to Racine, who just got rid of the puck in time. Tenorti hits Dallas. The centering pass. Carson shot it. Deflected away. The light didn't go on. Andy Van Helleman's pointing to the net, saying that puck went in and the Red Wings will get the goal. No goal light came on. Andy was in perfect positioning in order to make that call. Even from up here, it looked as though it definitely went in. In this instance, he can go to the video replay to confirm the decision he's already made. He pointed to the net. He's not even going to look for a video replay because he saw the puck in perfect position go into the net. Jimmy Carson gets it. There it is. No question. Right up underneath of the crossbar and right back out. Take a look at it from this angle, and you'll see that mesh probably move.
No question.
Great angle coming back out. Good call by Andy Van Helmen.
The North Stars are complaining that he's not going to the video replay, I'm sure. But we know that he doesn't need to. And so does he. It's not a power play goal, but comes right at the end of a power play. Now they're showing the goal on the screen on the score clock. Why are you people booing?
Well, from the angle that they're showing on the score clock up here, it is a little deceiving. It appears as though the puck was on the outside of the net, which is truly not the situation at all. People are pointing upwards.
Sit down, mister. It was in the net.
Come on up here, folks. Take a look at our replay. You'll see it's in. Oh, no, Huey, here they come.
They're all crowded around our little 12-inch TV. 15,000 of them. The goal is Jimmy Carson's, and they really need that from him. His first point of the playoffs from Probert and Dulles at 10:58. The score is 4-3 Minnesota.
You know, to be honest, I didn't think that they were supposed to, with the giant screens in these buildings, show any controversial calls. And that angle that they showed on the big screen here only seemed to stir the crowd up, and that's when you're not supposed to use it. But maybe they were showing it thinking that they knew that it was in, and these fans couldn't tell.
Clearly a goal. And clearly one that the Red Wings needed badly. They trailed 4-3. They've been coming back in this game. Down 2-0, tied it up 2-2, down 4-2. They made it 4-3. Mark Tenorti in his own zone. Badano sends the puck the length of the ice. Icing call against Minnesota.
And you'll see the North Stars do that now. The Red Wings get a little bit of momentum for them, and the North Stars will just try to take it away by icing the puck or slowing it down as much as they possibly can. The Red Wings game is speed and skill. They've got some great offense, and so far in this series, Brian Murray knows all too well that the North Stars have taken that skill in so many instances away from the Red Wings.
Steve Yzerman takes a break. Sean Burr out with Alan Kerr and Keith Primo. So Burr gets a double shift here. Burr scoops the puck into the Minnesota zone. Darian Hatcher is back. Off the boards, Primo stops it in front. Burr's shot, stopped by Casey, the rebound! Right there on the doorstep step was Alan Kerr, and he couldn't put the puck by Casey.
I think you're right the first time. It's been a doorstop in too many cases.
8:15 to play, second period. 4-3 Minnesota. Nicholas Lidstrom hit by Mike Craig. Now the bodies start to be thrown around. Craig and Hero through hits. Uh-oh! There he is trying to play the puck again, and he just whiffed on it. Here come the Red Wings. Give it to Casey. Mike Craig, no. Trent Klatt make that knockdown at center, and the fans wanted a penalty. Here's Paul Yzerman, number 21, turns to the front of the net, and the puck drifted into the corner. Kevin Miller was in front. Now Casey holds on to a weak shot from the boards and stops play with 7:27 left in the second period on this Molson Canadian hockey telecast. Here almost tied up by the Red Wings.
Casey went down to make that save. He also sent Miller flying.
Jimmy Carson scored the last goal for Detroit. Back out on the ice now, but the puck is up and out of play.
Carson's played a better game tonight than he has in either of the first two games of this series. maybe with Probert being on his left side, it has added to Carson's game tonight.
But Probert got an assist on the Carson goal. Bobby Smith and Jimmy Carson set to face off. Chasing the puck back into his own zone is Vladimir Konstantinov. His partner Steve Chason gets by Ulf Dahlin. Passes the puck off the boards, intended for Probert. Darian Hatcher trying to dump it back in. Here's Probert now taking the puck at center. One man back. There's the shot off the stick into the stands, and Probert takes 2 shots to the face of Mark Tenorti. And Tenorti might be itching to go, but he's turned the other cheek again, and he heads to the referee and said, "What are you going to do about that?"
It's tough to teach restraint when, in fact, someone like Probert takes a couple of punches at you. And as Tenorti did, he turned the other cheek in hopes that Probert would end up with a penalty. It didn't happen. It's been Bob Gainey's game plan, and he has got it across, obviously, very well to all of his players.
Well, Probert got away with that, so I'm sure he'll continue to take liberties. As long as he can punch Tenorti in the face like that and get away with it, he might as well do it again.
Well, I think Van Helmen now will have to react very quickly on the next situation, or else it might get a little out of hand.
Tenorti is still jawing at Andy Van Helmen because there was no penalty called. 6:59 left in the second period. 1-goal game. Stars lead. Konstantinov took the shot off the faceoff and deflected to the corner. Probert on the boards, working against Hatcher. Puck comes loose at the side of the net. Chipped out to center by Bobby Smith. Chason, pursued by Ulf Dahlin. Bobby Smith with a shot. That deflects in behind the net. Konstantinov quickly up the boards by Shepard. And Tenorti, who tried to keep the play onside for the North Stars. He dumped the puck in an attempt to anyway and hit Brian Bellows. Looks like it hurt Bellows. Casey out of his net. Tenorti up the boards. Dahlin to center. Bellows moving in on Riendo. Konstantinov keeps him from getting a shot away. Then reefs him into the boards heavily. Scramble for the puck, and out of the scramble comes Steve Yzerman of the Red Wings. Dragging the puck behind him, gets out to center, got his stick up on Dahlin, and now the sticks start to come up. All sorts of punching and extra shots. Play is stopped on an icing call against the North Stars. 5:50 to go in the second period on the NHL tonight. Has been slow at times. There's been the odd burst of speed and some rough stuff here.
Watch Konstantinov on Bellows.
Whack.
He put Bellows down pretty good, and then out in front of the North Stars bench, Yzerman did the same. He got his stick up high.
In the face of Ulf Dahlin. Here's Jim Johnson leading a rush for Minnesota. Broughton's with him, so is Modano. Neil Broughton headed for the net. Saving the day for the Red Wings was Bobby Dallas as he knocked the puck away from Broughton. Steve Yzerman carries the puck to center. Mates have to hold up as he's knocked down and slides in over the blue line, turning the puck over to the North Stars. There's a long breakaway pass, offside, just offside to Modano. David Shaw thought he'd hit him with the breakaway pass, but Modano wasn't onside.
Good heads-up play, though, by Shaw. Modano was on the fly. He did a pirouette at the same time right at the red line. But unfortunately for the North Stars, he was without question offside when he received that puck.
"21-year-old Mike Modano is one of the most exciting players in the league when he turns it on. He's from Livonia, just outside of Detroit. Leading scorer on the North Stars with 77 points, including 33 goals. 5:08 2:18, the time remaining in the second period. John Casey does up a couple of straps that were undone. I don't know whether this is an attempt to slow the game down or not, or whether he had a legitimate equipment problem. Bureau and Yzerman face off. Mark Bureau wins the draw. Adano trying to hack the puck out by a pitching Brad McCrimmon. Tenorti to Hatcher. Yzerman's right on him, or Alan Kerr make that. North Stars get the puck out to center. Adano had the pass go behind him. McCrimmon to Primo. Collision course. Good hit. Primo and Tenorti. Neither gave an inch. Two big, strong men. They cracked shoulders at center ice. Here's McCrimmon with a pass that Yzerman niftily knocks down. Over the blue line. Two men with him. Primo heads for the net. Keith Primo to Alan Kerr. Can't handle the pass. Tenorti's back. Alan Kerr rubbed into the boards by Mark Bureau, but gets the puck. Spinning away from Tenorti. To Primo. His pass for Yzerman, taken by Hatcher and flipped out to center. 4.5 minutes to play second period. 4-3 Minnesota.
Last 3 or 4 shifts, the Detroit Red Wings have done an excellent job of applying pressure to the North Stars in Minnesota's end zone. Good forechecking.
They've outshot Minnesota 15-6 in this second period, but Minnesota's outscored them 2-1. Constantina back after the puck, touches it, and there's an icing call against Minnesota again.
Detroit have had to jump on the North Stars the last half of this second period. I've liked the way that the Red Wings have been getting 2 men in on top of the puck, and they're not right now holding back that third man in the North Stars end zone when they're applying pressure, and the North Stars try to reverse the flow, change corners. They've got a Red Wing right on top of them right away.
That's hockey.
Tenorti and Primo shoulder to shoulder, and neither one of them really were knocked off balance. You said cracked shoulders. Tell you what, 2 big boys like that go at each other like that too many times in a night, they might end up with cracked shoulders.
Here's Dave Gagne getting set to face off against Sean Burr. 4 minutes to go, second period. Dahlquist up the boards. Gavin trying to move out against Constantina. Red Wings defenseman pinching all the time. Gambling, trying to keep the puck in and the pressure on the North Stars. Jim Johnson to Dave Gagne. Johnson heads for the net. Gagne has the puck. Johnson was tripped up. The shot in on Riendo. And he holds on to stop play.
But it almost looks as though the Red Wings have got some confidence back now, and things are going their way. They are pinching at the blue line, and they're being more successful than they have in the previous couple of games.
You know, in game number 2, while Brian Murray wasn't entirely happy with the effort he got from some of his players in game number 1, he was in game 2. And they had the effort, they hit, they just didn't finish. And they must be a little bit frustrated in this game, too, to be outplaying the North Stars in the second period, but trailing.
The way that Brian Murray had his team ready to play game number 2 in that first period, the way that they came out, the pressure they applied to the North Stars, and the amount of body checks that were handed out in that first period was something to behold. You just wonder at times, though, why you can't get your players to do that right away again in game number 3.
Sean Burr playing with Carson and Shepard on this line put together. Dallas takes the shot. Casey makes the save, juggles and holds on.
And I think if you were to ask Brian Murray as to what his expectations would have been, he would have hoped that his team would have come out the same way they did in game number 2 for that first period. But that didn't happen in this. Well, in the first period of tonight's hockey game, you just never know with your hockey club how they're going to react from one game to the next, it seems.
They were behind by the 1:11 mark, down by 2-0 halfway through the first period, tied it up, then they've fallen behind by 2 and closed the gap to 1 again.
They didn't have their skating legs, it seemed, and they weren't taking the body.
Carson and Bobby Smith. Probert off the draw, couldn't get the shot away. Darian Hatcher. Over to Bellows, in the air to center. Tenorti and Hatcher always seem to be on the ice to play against Bob Probert when he's out there. Two big defensemen that handle the biggest, toughest forward of the Red Wings. Darian Hatcher dumps the puck in. Riendo. Dallas can't clear it. He'll get another chance. So he'll try and come out the other way, or will he? Round of the boards to his partner, Yves Racine. Over to Dallas. Up the boards and out. Ray Shepherd into the middle. Pass is intercepted by Hatcher and dumped back into the Red Wing zone with 2.5 minutes to play in the second period. Minnesota up by 1, 4-3. Jimmy Carson up the left wing boards. His pass to Probert didn't connect. Back comes Mike Modano. He's checked by Racine. Bobby Smith with the puck. Pass out front for Duchesne, nowhere near him. Jim Johnson pinching in from the left side, trying to keep the puck in. Shaw couldn't keep the play onside. Now he dumps the puck in. Racine is the first man back. 2:10 to go, second period. Dallas. Just outside the line. Modano. Duchesne heads for the net. Riendo's down. The centering pass hit the stick of Yves Racine, and he cleared the puck, but not out. Here's Neil Brott. Mike Modano coming in to help out. Duchesne's in front of the net. Takes the pass. The shot was blocked. Jimmy Carson blocked the shot, and now he has the puck at center ice and dumps it in for the Red Wings at the end of a long shift. And he heads for the bench. 1:40 to play second period as the North Stars start to apply some pressure for the first time in a while in this game. Mark Tenorti. Inside the blue line, Brad McCrimmon. Oops, Gallant gave the puck away. Derek Smith, sharp-angled shot is gloved by Riendo, who hasn't been very busy since he came into this game at the 8:04 mark of the second period. So we have the play stopped here. We have an update from Edmonton with Jim Van Horn. And the Raiders are playing in Edmonton tonight.
No problem. Only minute 19 left in the fifth inning here in Minnesota.
With the Lions and the Vikings on the ice. Gagne wins the draw. Hatcher takes the shot wide of the net. Steve Chason hounded as he tried to clear the puck. Gets some help now. His partner, Vladimir Konstantinov, takes a return pass from Fedorov. Knocked down at center, Trent Klatt. Number 29. In his fourth NHL game. Gets out to center, to Gagne on the right side. Gavin goes for the net. Gagne holds up, shoots. Riendo makes the save and holds on. 50 seconds to go in the second period, and a good rush by the North Stars, who've had a good final 2 minutes of this period.
Trying to get the momentum back in their favor. Red Wings had owned it. Trent Klatt may be getting his eyes open to the real pressures of playoff hockey.
I don't think he'd seen a college game with the intensity of the first period of game 2, and he was good in game 1, not as good in game 2, and maybe he just woke up and realized where he was so early in his professional career.
But we should give the guy a break because he only signed with the North Stars a couple of weeks ago and ended up just playing one game, the last game with the North Stars. That game was in St. Louis last Thursday night. He was a big scorer for the University of Minnesota this past year.
Yzerman and Broughton to face off. They tie each other up. Lidstrom stepped in to get the puck. Nicholas Lidstrom for the Red Wings. Gavin trying to stay with him. Flipped into the Minnesota zone. First man back is Tenorti. Looking around, turns, up the boards. Duchesne tied up McCrimmon, and the puck drifts all the way down into the Red Wing zone. Yzerman at center. Down to the last 20 seconds of the second period. Yzerman plays the puck off the boards. Kevin Miller was checked and couldn't get it. Cleared by the North Stars. Brad McCrimmon is back. Passes the puck up the middle. Jerry Gallant for Kevin Miller. Turns the puck over to the North Stars, and the second period will come to an end as Duchesne and McCrimmon bump at the buzzer. The North Stars were outplayed in the second period, but have a one-goal lead.
And Jim, the North Stars open another 2-goal lead in the second period. That was all for Tim Chevelday after 38 wins through the regular season. Chevelday, no luck against the North Stars in the regular season or in the playoffs. He got the first 2 goals of the second period to the North Stars. 5:39, Neil Broughton is first of the playoffs from Bellows and Hatcher, making it 3-2. And Bellows gets his second of the playoffs, his third point of the light from Bobby Smith to make it 4-2 at 8:04. The Red Wings come back with 1. Jimmy Carson's first of the playoffs, and that made it 4-3. The Red Wings out shooting Minnesota. First 2 goals of the second period to the North Stars. 5:39, Neil Broughton is first of the playoffs from Bellows and Hatcher, making it 3-2. And Bellows gets his second of the playoffs, his third point of the light from Bobby Smith to make it 4-2 at 8:04. The Red Wings come back with 1. Jimmy Carson's first of the playoffs, and that made it 4-3. The Red Wings out shooting Minnesota 17-9 in the second period for a 2-period total 24-20 Detroit. But the Red Wings are still down by a goal.
And they're hot to go. The third period is underway. Minnesota leading by a goal. John Casey, Vince Riendeau are now the goaltenders. Tim Chevelday started and was pulled in the second period by the Red Wings. Andy Van Hellemond is the referee. Here's Steve Yzerman. He's only had 1 shot on goal. Flipped through center. Chason knocked the puck down. Darian Hatcher tried to poke the puck away from Kevin Miller. Miller has it. Red Wings are changing on the fly already. Burr comes over the boards in to join Yzerman, who is hit by Mark Tenorti. Here's Steve Chason at center. Chased by Dave Gagne, dumps the puck in. Chris Dahlquist. Rink wide, just out of the reach of Modano. Sergei Fedorov, who also has only a shot, dumps the puck in. Gaetan Duchesne up the boards. Brad McCrimmon to Nicholas Lidstrom. This defensive pair has been on the ice for all 4 Minnesota goals. McCrimmon at the point. Couldn't keep the puck in. Trent Platt shoots. Riendeau makes the save.
He thought, and yes he did, he was looking around to see whether that puck had squirted out from underneath of his pads, but it was surely underneath of him. Good little zip here by Trent Platt. A good hard shot.
Vince Riendeau turned 26 2 days ago. In his first playoff game for the Detroit Red Wings, stopped 6 shots in the second period and now 1 in the third. Gagne and Fedorov face off. Gagne won the draw. Stu Gavin turned around and shot wide. Jim Johnson keeps the puck in for Minnesota. McCrimmon to Lidstrom. Out come the Red Wings over the blue line. The drop pass to Yzerman. Centering pass went off a skate. McCrimmon back at center. A minute and a half into the third period. Hammers the puck in on the boards. Casey stops it, then clears the puck up the boards to Trent Platt. With Gagne and Gavin at center. Stu Gavin scoops the puck inside the blue line. Lidstrom back to take over. Minnesota changes on the fly. There's a giveaway. Ulf Dahlin takes it, shoots it just wide of the net. Big rebound off the boards. McCrimmon to Yzerman and out. Fedorov chases the puck. Tenorti beat him to it. Bobby Smith turns in his own zone for Minnesota. Looks up, starts to skate. Has Darian Hatcher with him as he dumps the puck in, then gives chase. Ulf Dahlin up to join him in the corner, trying to get the puck. Checked by Jimmy Carson. Dahlin trying to work away from Carson. Racine comes in to help out for the Red Wings. Bobby Smith takes over in front to Bellows. Couldn't backhand the puck in. Then he's taken down by McCrimmon. No call from Andy Van Hellemond, much to the chagrin of the 13,128 here tonight.
Some of the fans are wondering whether Andy's got a whistle.
Brian Bellows with the puck. Craig's in front. Centering pass, and Mike Craig was tied up in front of the net by Bobby Dallas and couldn't tip the puck in. Out come the Red Wings. 3-on-2 to center. Jimmy Carson to the loose puck. Cleared away by Jim Johnson. Pace in the third period's a little better.
We've had spurts of this in both the first and second. But then we've had times when it got just slowed right down.
I would think the North Stars would want to slow it down again, as Jim Johnson will by icing the puck. The Stars lead. More from Edmonton. Edmonton with Jim.
John Mack
Here with Brian Murray and his Detroit Red Wings trailing by 1, 4-3.
I don't think Brian Murray would have had to have said too much in between periods. At this point in time, there's not a lot you can say to your players. They obviously had some good momentum going for them at times in the second period and know that they would have to do more of that in the third. He's just going to have to try to continue to push them.
As he was doing on the bench, trying to pump up Sean Burr and Paul Yzerbaert.
Burr had 6 shots in the first 2 periods.
Mike Craig flips the puck in the air off the draw. Down into the Detroit zone, Chason. Hounded by Derek Smith. They both go down in the corner, and Vladimir Konstantinov carries the puck out. His pass to Alan Kerr didn't connect. Bureau for Derek Smith. Primo back to take the puck away. Nice play to Steve Chason. And he'll set up behind the Red Wing net. 4 minutes into the third period. Stars 4, Wings 3. Steve Yzerman gains the blue line, takes the shot. Casey made the save, and a good screen shot through the legs of Jim Johnson.
Edmonton.
Red Wings Steve Yzerman. Have a look at this pick set at the blue line by Primo.
Primo's a big man, so he can get away with that. Run into an opposing player and give Steve Yzerman a clear passageway into the offensive zone.
They let a nice little screen shot go.
Red Wings had some good jumps starting right back in their own end zone.
Sean Burr onto the boards, working against Hatcher off the draw. Fedorov to Yzerbaert. Hit the skates of Gagne. He cleared it, now goes after the puck. Up the boards, Fedorov in front. Yzerbaert missed a golden opportunity for a tap-in. Here's Stu Gavin for the North Stars. Holds up, Platt goes to the net. The pass goes to Hatcher. Can't get the shot away or get the puck to the front of the net, and he retreats to his defensive position as Sean Burr carries the puck out for Detroit. On the right side for Fedorov. Lost the puck and has to turn back. His mates were offside. Fedorov dumps the puck in. Yzerbaert goes after it. Tied up by Hatcher. Trent Platt took a hit but made the play to Stu Gavin. Fakes the shot. Outside on Dallas. Shoots it. Riendo makes the save. 5 minutes into the third period. North Stars 4. Red Wings 3. Lidstrom to Dallas. Out to center. Here's a steal. Yzerman heads for the net. Stopped by Casey. Great save by John Casey on Yzerman. Now he holds on. He's done it again. Big save just at the right time.
But that's what the North Stars are doing right now in this third period. Holding on. Red Wings have come out with some pretty fine jump. And Steve Yzerman is leading the way. Shaw got picked right here. His pocket pick. Yzerman took the puck right off of him and then was in all alone. Casey went down and Yzerman just found himself in now a little too close, and he tried to go over the top of those pads. Instead he hits them.
That almost looks like more luck than good management when you see the replay. Casey was down and out and Yzerman just couldn't get the puck to the top of the net.
I think that's been the case, though, with all 3 games. Casey's made some great saves, but boy, he's also lucked out on a number of occasions, and nobody knows that better than this guy right here, Steve Yzerman.
Yzerman again, turns, shoots. Casey makes an easy save. Gaetan Duchesne gets the puck. In the air to center. Manano leaves the puck for Neil Broughton. Drop pass for Manano. Shoots! Riendo got a piece of that. Mike Manano again. Broughton's in front. So is Duchesne. The centering pass deflects to the point, not out. Hatcher kept it in. Yzerman takes over. Poke check by Mike Manano was tripped up. Brad Marsh, one of 7 defensemen employed tonight by the Red Wings. Rink-wide pass didn't get to Gallant. Back in comes Mike Manano. Marsh trying to stay with him. Manano twists and turns to get away. Onto the inboards to Duchesne. He's pinned there and Marsh takes over. Number 20, Brad Marsh. Up the boards for Kevin Miller. Over center with Yzerman and Gallant. Stood up just inside the blue line. Jim Johnson. Round to the boards to Brian Bellows. Out at center. Dahlin got away from Konstantinov. A breakaway for Dahlin. Caught from behind. And no penalty called. Yzerman back inside the blue line for the Red Wings. Bellows fires the puck in the air, down the ice. This will be icing against Minnesota. 13:22 to go in the third. Stars 4, Wings 3. North Stars almost took another 2-goal lead. Let's have a look at this play. Should there have been a penalty?
Konstantinov stood up on the play, and that created Dahlin's opportunity. Chason came back and did an excellent job of taking Dahlin off the puck without getting a penalty. No penalty was deserved in that situation.
Maybe so when I saw it live, but on the replay, I agree with Andy.
So do I.
Usually do end up agreeing with Andy. He's one of the best in the game, and he's really letting these teams play tonight. Not many calls, very few penalties. Almost 7 minutes into the third period. Minnesota clinging to a 1-goal lead, and I mean clinging. The Red Wings have really been putting on some pressure in the second and the third period. Konstantinov belted at center by Dahlin, but he dumped the puck in. Tenorti backhands the puck outside the blue line. Probert got an elbow into the face of Tenorti. Now he rubs his glove in his face. And no, he's not going to get away with it this time. A roughing call against Bob Probert.
And he said enough was enough.
Now you said it in the second period when he punched Tenorti twice in the face and didn't get a penalty, that the next time Van Hellemond would get him. And he did.
Probert took advantage of Van Hellemond. He thought he would get away with it again, and he found out who was boss. Watch this.
First, there's a pretty good elbow. 2 elbows. And here's where he gets the penalty.
Probert's lucky. He could have got a double minor there. One for elbowing, one for roughing.
In the first period, Probert got a minor penalty, and Sergei Fedorov scored a shorthanded goal. Minnesota now on the power play. A chance to reestablish a 2-goal lead. Bobby Smith in after the puck, poked away by Vince Riendeau. To the point, David Shaw takes the shot, stopped by Riendeau. Loose puck in front of the net, Bobby Smith couldn't get to it. There'll be a Minnesota penalty. And so much for the power play. An interference call, leaving things up. 7:39, 24 seconds after the penalty to Bob Probert. Bobby Smith takes this interference call.
There it is. Could have been tripping.
Konstantinov went down to make sure that Van Hellemond called it. So 5-a-side hockey. Lots of time left, and a 1-goal lead for Minnesota, leading the series 2-0. Jim Johnson around for Darian Hatcher. Hatcher will skate the puck to center. Yzerman right over on top of him, tries to dump it in and can't get the puck deep. McCrimmon takes a pass from Nicholas Lidstrom. Brad McCrimmon His pass to Steve Yzerman. Yzerman and Fedorov, great talented forwards with some extra room to move on the ice for the Red Wings. Sergei Fedorov goes deep on the boards. Yzerman's there. Lidstrom goes to the front of the net, now backs up. Fedorov comes in to help. Lost the puck. Darian Hatcher lugs it out. Neil Broughton to Mike Modano. In over the blue line. Hatcher was knocked down behind the play, and the fans want a penalty. Nothing doing. Lidstrom. Yzerman. Half a minute to go in Probert's penalty, then a short power play for the Red Wings. Here's Lidstrom with room. Shoots it. Casey makes the save.
Casey could see the puck all the way. Didn't try to do anything spectacular. Gloved it up and held on. Fedorov just pushes that puck back to Lidstrom. Now Lidstrom could have walked in a little bit more, but he was having trouble as it was getting that puck to lay down on the ice. But finally when it did, he took the opportunity to hammer it.
The time remaining in the third period. The fans have really got into this game in the third period.
The pace has been good.
Much better than the first two periods when it was slow at times, fast at times, stop at start. Dahlquist off the draw, won by Bureau. Over to Mark Tenorti. 10 seconds until the Probert penalty expires and the Red Wings get a half-a-minute power play. Bureau gains the blue line. Dahlquist goes for the front of the net. Now he retreats. Bureau hit hard on the end boards. Probert's out of the penalty box. The Red Wings are on a power play. 25 seconds to go in the Bobby Smith penalty, but the Red Wings get the puck deep into the Minnesota zone. Only for a second, though. Mark Bureau finds an open wing and sends the puck to him. Bobby Dallas, rink wide for Yves Racine, number 33. Dozen seconds left in the penalty. Dumped in. Mark Tenorti, double team, got the puck partway up the boards, not out. Kevin Miller turns around. Racine sneaks in from the point. The shot. Casey knocked it away as Dallas shot the puck. Bobby Smith's penalty has expired. He's back into the play, but the Red Wings are trying to center. Probert in behind the net against Dahlquist. Tenorti up the boards for Bobby Smith, and he chips the puck out to center. We've reached the midway mark of the third period. Minnesota 4, Detroit 3. Casey had the puck breezed by him on the end boards. Vladimir Konstantinov. His pass got by Shepard. Jim Johnson. Out to Gaetan Duchesne. His pass from Modano. Knocked down by Jimmy Carson. Overskated the puck, but Primo picked it up. Keith Primo heads for the net. Centering pass. Modano takes it. Backhanded by Shepard. Casey stopped that. Shepard got a gift when it appeared the North Stars were going to clear it. And Casey makes another save. This Molson Canadian Hockey telecast returns in just a moment. Red Wings have come close again, only to be stopped by John Casey. They've outshot the North Stars 32-22.
Primo gained the blue line and was able to put that puck out, but Modano thought he had it and then had it lifted from him by Shepard.
Shepard off the draw, stopped by Casey. Bouncing puck to the side of the net. Primo is there. So is Mark Tenorti, and he's got the puck. Up the boards for Brian Bellows, and Minnesota will move out of its own end. Bellows caught from behind. No penalty. Primo was hooking at him, but Bellows just went down on his own. Tripped. Tenorti went down. Primo was standing next to him, too. Curious. Hatcher. To Bobby Smith. And out to center. Steve Chason to Vladimir Konstantinov. Ray Shepard. Yzerman made a great move. Takes the shot. Casey makes the save. The rebound out in front. Casey was way out and Yzerman had nothing to shoot at. But what about that move, accidental or not, at the blue line? Ulf Dahlin. Brian Bellows with him. Dahlin. Checked by Chason. Konstantinov. Turning away from Broughton. Now he'll get some help from Steve Yzerman. The smooth skating captain of the Wings out to center. Chason onto the right wing. Miller after the puck. Jim Johnson clears it, but the play had been stopped offside with 8:20 to go in the third.
Boy, oh boy, Chris Dahlquist was wondering all of a sudden where Steve Yzerman went. He was headed for him. The next thing Dahlquist knew then, he was turning around watching Yzerman walk right in. But see how far Casey was out?
Nothing to shoot at.
He just cut Yzerman's opportunity to score way down.
It's okay, Chris. He's done that to a few defensemen.
Sure has. The best thing Yzerman could have done, and he had that situation to do all over again, was not to shoot and try to work his way in around Casey. But Casey's pretty good then at diving and poke checking.
Yeah. Steve didn't have much room at that speed to get any deeper. At any rate, another opportunity thwarted by John Casey. Nicholas Lidstrom. McCrimmon to Lidstrom. Fedorov. His pass intercepted by Gaetan Duchesne. And the North Stars will defend and defend and defend now. Here's Gagne on the offensive. Takes the shot. Nice save by Vince Riendo. 7:33 to go in the third. 4-3 Minnesota.
All you can say about Riendo's play is that since he's come into the hockey game, it appears that the Red Wings have played well in front of him. They've had the puck in the North Stars end zone far more than they did when Tim Cheveldae was in net. And that then becomes a positive move on the part of Brian Murray. Maybe since Cheveldae had such a good season, the players in front of them just thought that he was going to do it on a pretty regular basis for them. Goaltending change then can put the pressure back on the forwards and defensemen.
Speaking of pressure, Red Wings send the puck down the ice. They're down 2-0 in the series. 7:23 left in the third. They could be down 3-0 as they run out of time in this game. We'll be back in a moment. NHL tonight from the Met Center in Bloomington. I'm Jim Houston with Gary Green. Minnesota leading 4-3, trying to go up 3-0 in this series. On home ice. We're back to the New York area, Meadowlands of New Jersey to be exact, tomorrow night. We continue to follow the New York Rangers against the New Jersey Devils. They're tied at 1-1. They'll play at the Brendan Byrne Arena tomorrow night. 7:30 Eastern is the start time on TSN. And we'll be back here on Friday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Game 4 in this series. All sorts of jockeying on this faceoff. Now they're lined up, and it's Yzerman against Broughton. Broughton won the draw cleanly. Hatcher takes the shot. Riendo made the save. Racine to the puck. Up the boards for Jerry Gallant. Yves Racine trying to get out of his own zone. Broughton trying to keep him in. So is Stu Gavin. Kevin Miller comes back for the puck. Plays it to Racine. Gallant on the left wing. Racing down the right side is Miller. The pass into the middle. Knocked away by the North Stars and Darian Hatcher. Plays it to Stu Gavin. Hatcher moves up. Yzerman knocked the puck away from him. Tenorti back out to center. The North Stars just dump it out from inside their zone. Off the boards to center. Broughton to Duchesne, tried to dump it in. He took a shot from Gallant, and now he takes another shot from Gerard Gallant. And skates away. They're both going to get penalties. Duchesne and Gallant. Gallant, you recall, at the end of game 2, right at the very end, went after Mike Craig. What's going on in that other Norris Division semifinal, Jim?
One of the interesting
finish to this one, a 1-goal game, coincident minors to Gallant for that, Duchesne for that.
A little cross-check, a little spear, and then they bang heads.
Roughing minors to Duchesne and Gallant at 13:24. So neither team will suffer a disadvantage in manpower here. Jimmy Carson on the ice. Bob Probert out with him. Ray Shepard against Bobby Smith. Brian Bellows and Ulf Dahlin. Johnson and Dahlquist on defense for Minnesota. Dumped in by Dahlquist. Konstantinov for Detroit. He's been on a lot tonight. Here's Jimmy Carson, 2-on-1 with Probert. Hooked from behind, and Bobby Smith kept Carson from shooting or passing.
Smith lost his stick too at doing it.
Brian Bellows flips the puck inside the line. Dahlin gets a hold of it. Good recovery there by Steve Chason. Now the play is offside. All sorts of interesting happenings all over the ice here.
Defensive-minded Dahlin has actually found himself in a great scoring position on a couple of occasions in the latter part of this hockey game. Not that he's been able to get a shot away, but he's been in perfect scoring position.
Steve Chason recovered to get the puck away from him on that occasion. 6:07 left in the third now. Konstantinov. To center, fires the puck in. Casey stopped it. Tenorti and Hatcher back out after a short rest because Probert's on the ice. Big defenseman to handle the big forward. Bobby Smith. Poked the puck to Bellows, goes for a skate, dumps the puck in. Minnesota will change on the go. 5:40 to play, third period. Konstantinov again, flips the puck to Probert. Breaking in off the left side, Casey out to play it. Took a push from Probert, but that's all. You know Bob wanted to run right over him. Derek Smith to the end boards. Nicholas Lidstrom leads the Red Wings to center. Dahlquist. Round on the boards and out. Chipped back in and out come the North Stars. 5 minutes to go, third period on the NHL tonight from the Met Center. Isabart, Yzerman, and Fedorov out for the Red Wings. Steve Yzerman hauled down. There'll be a Minnesota penalty to Jim Johnson. He's some kind of hot about it, but he'll get a penalty. The plot thickens. 1-goal lead for Minnesota. Detroit to the power play when we come back. For holding on Steve Yzerman, and if the Red Wings ever needed a power play goal in their season, it's now.
Yzerman's been on fire in this third period. Johnson had his arms wrapped around Yzerman, and Yzerman went down.
Eddie Van Hellemond was in the corner with Johnson and Yzerman's back to him.
Fans showed their displeasure with referee Andy Van Hellemond by littering the ice. Brian Murray will take advantage of that. The attendants here at Met Center are cleaning it up.
Yeah, little do they know here, as mad as they are at Andy Van Hellemond, they're playing right into the Red Wings' hands because Yzerman gets a rest here. He was out when the penalty was called and will stay out. Shepard, Fedorov out of the power play. Chason and Lidstrom will play the points. Tenorti and Dahlquist, Gagne and Broughton will be the penalty killers. Yzerman's had another fine game. His team's outshot Minnesota 34-24.
Jim, you know the pressure that's on Steve Yzerman's shoulders. Fans in Detroit look to Steve Yzerman, their captain, to lead this team. They don't expect as much from Sergei Fedorov, obviously because of the year's experience.
See, Detroit 1 for 5 on the power play tonight and 1 for 16 in the series. The only power play goal by Nicholas Lidstrom in the first period of this game. Red Wings get possession. Lidstrom put the puck in deep. Yzerman in after it. Lidstrom trying to keep the play onside. Fedorov, Lidstrom, back in on Yzerman's side. Tenorti overchecking him. Lidstrom with Broughton right on it. Yzerman on the boards for Fedorov. Shepard's alone out front. Yzerman. Now Shepard is checked by Tenorti and Gavin. Yzerman back to the point. Chason shoots it. Casey makes the save. Big rebound. Stu Gavin gets it, flips it in the air out. Half a minute down to the penalty. Less than 4 minutes to go in the third period. And perhaps the game with the Stars leading by one shot in out of the park. 1:12 to go in the penalty to Johnson.
The Red Wings have had trouble all night long, though, at getting that puck in deep. Oftentimes it's been knocked either over the glass or it's been knocked down and batted right back out by the North Stars. They've got to get that puck in deep into the North Stars end zone. And as we've mentioned earlier in this series, it's almost better on Casey than it is just in the corner away from him. Tenorti won't be off the ice too much in this last 3.5 minutes of play.
Since the start of the second period, the Red Wings have outshot the North Stars 26-13. Yet they've been outscored 2-1. Fedorov. Shepard at the side of the net. No one in front. Back to the point. Yzerman just plays the puck in, gets it back, takes the shot, loose in front, chipped out, they score! Knocked out of the air by Ray Shepard, and the Red Wings have tied the game.
Finally, the Red Wings get a little bit of luck. Good hand-eye coordination by Ray Shepard. The puck was in mid-air, and he tapped it in.
Ray Shepard's first of the playoffs, second power play goal of the game.
There it is, right there. Backhand, mid-air. Watch it from this angle. Tenorti was down. That puck actually went off of Tenorti and then in behind Casey. Shepard has really been fairly invisible for the first 3 games, so that's a big goal for him.
Sure is. At 16:28 of the third period, and the score is tied 4-4. A power play goal with Johnson serving a holding penalty. Fedorov gets the second assist, so it's Shepard from Yzerman and Fedorov at 16:28 on the power play. Minnesota up 2-0 in the series. The odds are soundly against coming back from a 3-0 deficit, so you know the Red Wings have to win this. At center ice, Darian Hatcher flips the puck in. Steve Chason coming back out for the Red Wings. Alan Kerr, Sean Burr hit Hatcher from behind, and he's going to get a penalty. Sean Burr is going to get a penalty for running Hatcher into the boards from behind, and now Minnesota will get a power play with under 3 minutes to go in the third.
Ryan Murray's trying to hold in his frustration, probably towards Sean Burr.
All season long they've called this.
Hatcher's hurt on this play. He's still down.
I think his face came down on the dasher.
He really didn't run him into the boards as hard as I thought that he had initially. But you're right.
He was defenseless.
He was still checking from behind, but Hatcher, when he came down, I think you called it, Jim. He hit his face on the ledge. A glorious opportunity this sets up for the North Stars, though, who seem to be after the Red Wings had scored. Not being overly aggressive again, just going back into their defensive style of play in the neutral zone, waiting for a turnover.
2 minutes for boarding, and we all had some question, I'm sure, How about the severity of the penalty? Whether it be 2 or 5. Johnson argues for 5 to no avail. Minnesota power play. Plays underway. Gagne scored with a man advantage in the first period.
Whoa, that was scary.
Yes. Shaw and Tenorti, the point men. Bobby Smith, Mike Modano, Brian Bellows up front of the power play. Red Wings have a shorthanded goal in this game. Fedorov from Yzerman in the first period. Bobby Smith. Modano. Bellows, bouncing puck to the point. David Shaw. Modano reverses on the boards. Chason's there, off the glass, just out by Modano. Here's Fedorov with Kevin Miller, moving in shorthanded. Miller's shot, Casey the save. Somebody take it. Tenorti does. 2 minutes to go, third period, 4-4 tie. Minnesota on the power play. And call for icing on it. 1:01 to go in the penalty to Berg. Tight game here. And we have a game on in Edmonton that we'll bring you up to date on now. Tied at 4 late in the third. 1:55 to go in it.
A little scarier for the North Stars right now while the Red Wings are killing these penalties because they come out with Fedorov first of all to kill it. He's dangerous shorthanded. So's Yzerman.
Yzerman won the draw. The shot kicked out by Casey. Paul Yzerman got the shot away. Under a minute to go in the penalty to Sean Berg. Ulf Dahlen to Dave Gagne over center. He dumps the puck in, but the play is stopped offside. An offside pass.
North Stars obviously can't get anything going here. They can't seem to win the face-offs on this power play. And then they've either iced it or gone offside. Yzerman really has led the charge for the Red Wings, though, this third period.
Sure has. Shots are 39-24 in favor of Detroit over Bob Gainey's North Stars. 15-4 in the third period for Detroit. Now the Red Wings taking their time. Yzerman playing with the tape on his stick. Getting a good rest here before he faces off with Dave Gagne. McCrimmon shot the puck wide. Johnson and Hatcher are the point men of the power play now. Just over half a minute to go in the power play. Johnson rings the puck in around on the boards. Gagne and Platt over to try and get it. Dahlen's there in behind the net. Now he gets control. They get a chance to set up. Back pass for Gagne. Hatcher's breaking in. The pass out front. Taken away from the crease by Brad McCrimmon. Johnson to Dahlen. Side of the net. Gagne out front. The shot deflected wide of the net as Dahlen took it. 10 seconds to go in the penalty. Ulf Dahlen. Modano's in front of the net. Gagne in the corner. Trent Platt in front of the net. Johnson's shot wide of the net. Hatcher in on the left side. Puts the puck to the inboards. Gagne's there. The penalty's over. Burr's back into play. Riendeau stopped Platt at the side of the net. As the North Stars put on some pressure in the last minute of the third period. Now the Red Wings back at even strength come out. Bobby Dallas over center, dumps the puck in, and the play is stopped. There'll be penalties to Gagne and Yzerman. With 38 seconds left in the third period in a 4-4 tie, coincident minors go to Yzerman and Gagne.
Red Wings did an excellent job of killing off that penalty, right from winning face-offs to once they got back into their own end zone. And the North Stars had the puck. They protected Vince Riendeau very well. They almost looked like the North Stars in front of their own net. And they went back into killing that penalty.
minutes each, and they leave the ice for the dressing room. Fedorov gave Dahlquist a shot in the face, and the play slows here as time runs out in the third period. Up the boards, Dahlquist chases the puck into his own zone, hammers it out to center. Sergei Fedorov just lets the puck drift deep into the Minnesota zone, content to let the seconds tick away and go into overtime. And the third period has come to an end. The Red Wings have come from behind two-goal deficits, and Shepard's goal at 16:28 sends this game to overtime, the first OT game in the series.
The Red Wings look like they were finished a couple of times tonight, but they have fought back from a 2-goal deficit on 2 occasions. Jim Carson got the Red Wings within 1 in the second period. Then in the third period, it was Ray Shepard at 16:38 coming up with a goal from Yzerman and Fedorov, and that means we're heading for overtime. Here's a look at the goal. Fedorov and Yzerman drawing the assist. Shepard is in front. Now Shepard bats it out of the air with a backhand just in front, and the Wings tie it at 4. Second power play goal of the night for the Red Wings. It's all even. Shots on goal in the third period favored the Red Wings as well, 15-5, and through 3 periods the Red Wings have outshot the North Stars 39-25 as we get ready for overtime for the first time in this series.
Superstars leading the way again for the Detroit Red Wings. Vince Riendeau took over for Tim Cheveldae in the second period. Steve Yzerman has 2 assists. Sergei Fedorov a goal and an assist. 4 shots on goal for Yzerman. Hasn't scored tonight. Casey's had to make some good saves against him.
Ray Shepard ended up with that goal, of course, but he also ended up with 3 shots on net in that third period. He all of a sudden started to go again.
The records of these teams in overtime, and they're not quite set to go, so we can crowd in this little update from Winnipeg. Jim?
No shutout for Rick Tapp.
Well, the Detroit Red Wings trailed 2-0 in this series. They lose this one, and then they'd have to win 4 straight to knock out Minnesota. That's tough sledding. They win this one, though, and they've outplayed the Minnesota North Stars in a couple of games. Some great goaltending. Just kept them from winning. So you win this and you're right back in it.
Yep.
Konstantinov to the front of the net. Now he sweeps the puck in, side of the goal. Kevin Miller, Jerry Gallant, checked by Neil Brott in the air to Casey, and he holds on at the side of his goal.
Casey's going to be a little bit more cautious in this overtime. He's going to hang on to any of those loose pucks that are floating around him. He knows that the Detroit Red Wings have had the momentum. When you take a look at their shots over the last 2 periods, they've outshot the Minnesota North Stars 32-14.
But one crazy bounce, one bad hop, and the North Stars against the flow of play could easily win this. Burr and Bobby Smith. Jim Johnson got angry and threw a punch at Alan Kerr.
They're both going, though. And Johnson's lucky there. I know he got hit first, but sometimes the referees don't see the initial one.
To the Northlands Coliseum.
22 seconds into overtime. And plays underway again. Ryan Bellows. Up the middle, intercepted, Shepard shot, and hit Sean Burr. Burr puts the puck behind the net. This time Bellows goes up the boards wisely. And the length of the ice, Brad McCrimmon back to touch the puck. And there's an icing call against the Minnesota North Stars. The deadly cross-ice clearing pass almost cost Bellows big time.
That's not like Bellows, because he's been a pretty solid performer in this series so far and hasn't given up plays like this. Ooh. There wasn't even a North Star close where Bellows was firing it through.
They won a reprieve as Shepard's shot bounced to the corner, and I dare say he won't do that again. Red Wings win the draw. Can't get a shot away. McCrimmon now with a shot over top of the net. But he kept the play onside. Fedorov's in front of the net. Burrs checked in the corner. Shepard and Hatcher go after the puck. Darian Hatcher lost the puck to Ray Shepard. Wrap around. Stopped by Casey. Puck comes loose into the slot. Fedorov to Burrs. Shoots it over top of the goal and over top of the glass.
I think Tenorti got out just in time to get his stick in front of the shot. Just as Burr was winding up with it. Red Wings again just dominating. Ooh, that was a close one too, that wraparound.
Casey didn't stop it. Ray Shepard scored his first goal to tie the game. He had 3 shots on goal in the third period, easily his best period of the series. He almost ended this game seconds ago. Signed as a free agent from the Rangers, had a great season. Wants to carry on a little longer. Minute and 5 seconds into overtime. Bob Probert takes the puck, shoots it off a leg, bounces to the corner. Mike Craig is there for the North Stars. Up the boards, Racine scores! Yves Racine's shot from the point, and the Red Wings are very much alive.
Well, the Red Wings deserve this win. The last couple of periods they've played hard, and in this overtime they've controlled it. The North Stars were back on their heels. They weren't winning faceoffs, and the Red Wings took advantage of those situations. Racine from the point has put that puck right on net. Bob Probert played a strong third period, and he was after that puck.
Forced Craig to put it up the boards. Racine stopped it, fired the shot in behind Casey, and the Red Wings came from behind twice, down by 2 goals to win this game 5-4.
You see, Casey was going down. He was trying to see that puck. There were a number of players way out further in front of him. He couldn't react quickly enough. Put a lot of pressure all of a sudden off the Detroit Red Wings.
Well, at least for a couple of nights anyway. They trailed 2-1 in the series, but have shown tonight that they can dominate the North Stars, as they did in the second and third periods in particular. Red Wings trail in the series 2-1. They win this game 5-4 on Yves Racine's first to the playoffs.
People who think all motor oil.
He buys him in all kinds of chances, and he helps set up the game-tying goal in the third. The second star, Minnesota defenseman Darian Hatcher, and the third star for scoring the game winner, Detroit's Yves Racine. Shepard ties it up. Racine wins it for the Red Wings. 5-4 is the final, and the Red Wings trail the North Stars 2-1 in the series. Time now for the TSN Turning Point, brought to you tonight by Apr.22 Glass. We take you to overtime. The Red Wings had a chance early, but they score on this one. Yves Racine point shot beating John Casey 1:15 of the overtime period as the Red Wings win it 5-4 in Bloomington. A cash donation to the Coaching Association of Canada for the training and development of coaches in amateur sport will be made on behalf of TSN and Apr.22 Glass. Saves you money on stone chip windshield repairs. Other rinks, other scores. Here's Jim Van Horn.
Thank you very much, John. We were watching the St. Louis-Chicago game earlier with the Blackhawks leading 4.
The superstars for the Red Wings had done their job. Fedorov and Yzerman were playing well early in the series, but some other guys had to play well. Some guys who could hit, like Bob Probert, and Jimmy Carson and Ray Shepard hadn't done anything till Game 3, and they picked the right time to get it going as Detroit won.
Well, it was easier for Minnesota to concentrate on a couple of players like Fedorov and Yzerman. But it's not so easy when all of a sudden you distribute all of the offense that the Red Wings have, and once all of a sudden Shepard got going and Carson got going, then the Red Wings got going.
Bob Probert had some good shifts as well, and one of them was on Jimmy Carson's goal in the second period. Second time the Red Wings were down by 2 goals. Carson got this one.
This was a big goal for the Red Wings because from that point onwards, they'd been playing well in the second period, but it seemed as soon as Carson scored this goal, then they got some real confidence and their momentum just continued to carry over.
Then the tying goal from late in the third period for Ray Shepherd, his first of the series.
Well, 2 of the key guys, Yzerman and Fedorov, participated in this, and Shepherd just knocked it out of midair. It was a timely goal for the Red Wings, and from that point onwards, there was no looking back.
Well, the Red Wings are very much alive in this series, and obviously it's a huge win for them, and I think they've really got some momentum now, and the Minnesota North Stars won't be feeling very good about letting this one get away.
Well, first of all, they were finally able to score a power play goal here tonight, so that will relieve a little bit of pressure, and they've got some of their offense going now. Even Bob Probert was starting to get involved. He made some bad, well, he took some bad situations, bad penalties, but yet he still was involved in the play.
So who starts in goal for game number 4? Is it Tim Cheveldae or Vince Riendeau?
No, I don't think there's any question. You'll see Vince Riendeau back in the nets for the next game.
Well, the Red Wings are very much back in the series, trailing 2-1 after winning 5-4.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. Again, the final score in overtime, Yves Racine getting the goal for the Detroit Red Wings. A big one it was as they defeat the Minnesota North Stars by a score of 5-4. They now take a 2-1 lead in that series over the Minnesota North Stars, and it will continue in Minneapolis at the Met Center in Bloomington. Let's take a look at the scoreboard.
The Canucks had to win to stay alive in the playoffs.